Hello, who's your fans, who's your haters, and everyone in between. This is the Crimson Coliseum podcast. And on today's episode, we're going to be ranking the Big Ten teams after a very, very chaotic week six. A lot of changes this week compared to the last few weeks. And the powers that be in the Big Ten have shifted. And I think next week's going to be a little bit, even maybe it just as crazy. Starting off, the not bowl contenders, most of them have been the same. We have one major change. But Purdue still at the bottom of the conference after their 6-52 loss to Wisconsin. They have the 17th ranked offense at 300.8 yards and the worst defense, allowing 436.8 yards. This week they're at number 23 Illinois. I don't know how they're going to improve. I think Ryan Walters on the hot seat. Good luck, Purdue. Please don't hire Tom. Well, it'd be hilarious if actually guys hired Tom Allen or Walt Bell. That'd actually be pretty funny. 17 still the same as UCLA, but they're closer to Maryland than they are Purdue at this point. The worst offense at 261.6 yards, the second worst defense at 383 yards. They lost at number 7 Penn State 11-27, and this week they're at Minnesota. Well, they're facing off against Minnesota. They're at home against Minnesota, not at Minnesota. Uh, they're doing better than what I expected them to do. Keep it at least decently close with the past three ranked teams. So in that case, they're not too terrible. They've had a rough past three games. They finally get an opponent where they actually might have a chance. But a 17-point loss against 16th ranked team in the country, a 21-point loss against number 8 team in the country, and then a 16-point loss against the 7th team of the country, 7th ranked team in the country. And like Oregon's ranked 4 or 3. Penn State's 4. LSU's still up there too, I think, right? It's gonna make sure. Yeah, they're 13. So they've been like they haven't won any of them, but they haven't lied down to die. So that I'm proud of them for. And number 16 is Maryland at 3-2, 0-2 in conference play. They had a bye last week, so their stats stay the same. 451.4 yards, which is sixth in the Big Ten, and 381 yards, which is 16th. This week they're facing Northwestern at home. Big game. Same things I said last week. If Ty Felton can play, they have a really good chance to win. If not, oh no. Yeah, oh no. Gotta hope he stays healthy. He's able to play from that. He's able to play in clear concussion protocols. At number 14, dropping out of the bowl contender spot, is Michigan State. 12th ranked offense at 349.8 yards and the ninth best defense at 300.4 yards. Last week they got beat badly by Oregon 31-10. This week they're on a bye, but I dropped them out of bowl contention because I really don't see many ways they can get to 6 wins. They have a tough schedule this year. Um, just want to look at that real fast. Try to find the quickest way to get to their schedule. So they got Iowa on the road in Michigan, on the road in Illinois, on the road at home against Indiana, and they've got Purdue and Rutgers. I don't know how you get 3 wins from that. They desperately needed to win that Boston College game. They would have been in a much better spot if they would have. Now, heading into bowl contenders, number 13, it's Minnesota. I didn't put them too high because of their other games. They're 3-3, 1-2 in conference play. The 14th best offense at 333 yards, but the third best defense. That's been surprising for me. 251.2 yards allowed. And they beat number 11 USC at home, 24-17, and this week they're at UCLA. But to improve on the rankings, they got to keep winning. Because right now they can be in the top 10 in the Big Ten, but I'm not going to overreact. They still have three losses. They have an impressive win. If they can't get to 6 wins, they just got to do it. And number 12 is Rutgers. 4-1, 1-1 in conference play. They dropped down a couple spots from 10 after their 7-14 loss at Nebraska. The eighth best offense at 395.4 yards. The 13th best defense at 334 yards. And this week they're heading to Madison to play Wisconsin. And again, Rutgers is playing a team in that same tier as them after they face off against Washington and Nebraska. They got Wisconsin. So if they could get that win, they'll be definitely moving up. But they've just been moving down because of the losses. And at number 11, as I said before, is Wisconsin. And the reason why they up one and Rutgers moved down to 12 is just because of how badly they beat Purdue. Uh, 3-2, 1-1 in conference play. Ninth best offense at 387.6, and the 11th best defense at 318 yards per game. Last week they won 52-6, just a dominating win overall. And this week they're at Rutgers. This week's the real test. They could move up to 10 or 9 if they win good against Rutgers. It's on the road though, so we'll see. But yeah, I've been liking them so like that. I like that win for them. And number 10 is Washington. I know a lot of people would have Washington higher. They're 4-2, 2-1 in conference play. Third best offense at 462.7 yards, and the fifth best defense at 256 yards. And a good win against number 10 Michigan, 27-17. And this week they're at Iowa. But a stat that popped up recently. There's only been one win for a road team that had to travel 2+ time zones. And that's Indiana 42-13 over UCLA. And my question for Washington, can they win on the road? Their two losses have been on the road, both at one was their one loss. One of their two losses has been on the road. The other was in Seattle. The Washington State game at a neutral site and at Rutgers. So can they do it on the road is the big question. And now they got against a really good defense in Iowa consistently. So that's my big test. If they can win that, they can be in bowl favorites ahead of like a USC or an Iowa. They could be over Iowa in the bowl favorites, but we'll have to see. At number 9 is Nebraska. 4-1, 1-1 in conference play. They stayed the same from ninth. The 10th best offense at 381.4 yards. The 7th best defense at 272.5 yards. They beat Rutgers 14-7 and have a bye this week. But next week they have Indiana. Uh, good good defensively game. Good defensive game. And they've got I think I saw said they were at 0 rushing touchdowns, which is going to be strength on strength there. Indiana's rushing attack versus Nebraska's rush defensively. So we'll see. Going into bowl favorites, I still have USC at number 8 in my bowl favorites, down 2 spots from 6. They're 3-2, 1-2 in conference play, and have lost the last two of the last 3 games. Seventh best offense at 442.4 yards. The 10th best defense, 316.2 yards. Previous week they lost at Minnesota, 17-24. And this week they're at number 4 Penn State. And very disappointing. Like, yes, it's on the road, but it's Minnesota. Like, they're still in my bowl favorites right now. And even if they lose to Penn State, they'll probably stay if they don't get blown out hard. But Happy Valley is a really hard place to play in. So, good luck, Lincoln Riley. At number 7 is Iowa, down 3 spots from 4. 11th best offense at 363.4 yards, and the 8th best defense at 300.4 yards. Their previous week, they lost at Ohio State. at number two, Ohio State, or number three at the time. It's 37-35. This week they're hosting Washington. Um, it's a very disappointing loss. Thought it'd be a lot closer than what it was. Ohio State's just that good, but I think they can bounce back against Washington, but and they have to in order to stay in that higher tier bowl conversation. And number six is the first ranked team, number 24, Michigan. 4-2, 2-1 in conference play. Down one from being fifth, the 15th best offense at 306.3 yards, and the 14th best defense at 336.2 yards. They lost at Washington 17-27 last week, and this week, luckily, they're on a bye. I have doubts. I have a lot of doubts. First road game, and they lose bad. Like 10 points is not bad loss, but yeah, rematch of the national championship game, and they failed. Recently, they just put in Jack Tuttle to start. Uh, Good luck, Michigan, in the future endeavors. Um, how many road games do you, because Michigan's in a similar situation that Washington is, honestly. Uh, really good at home. Don't know how they are on the road. They only had one road game. Their next game is at Illinois. Oh no. At They got one, two, three more road games, and all three of them are against ranked opponents. Good luck, Michigan. It's Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio State are the three teams they play on the road. That's not good for them. I'll just say that. Speaking of Illinois, at number five, that's where I have them. 4-1, 1-1 in conference play, up three spots from being number eight. The 13th best offense at 347.2 yards, and the ninth best defense at 308.6 yards. This week they have a bye, and they play Michigan next week. Um, well, no, this previous week they had a bye, and this week they play Purdue, and then next week they play Michigan. Uh, just got to be. They had a bye. Let's see if they don't have any rust on them. Um, and get ready for the easiest win they could possibly get. Purdue at home. At number four is number 18, Indiana. 6-0, 3-0 in conference play, and they're up three spots from seven. First, the best offense now at 515.7 yards, and the fourth best defense at 255.7 yards. They went to Northwestern to beat them 41-24. This week they had a bye. Offense is superb. You like what you see there? Um, Also, I think I just skipped a team. Speaking of Northwestern, I had them at 15. 16th best offense at 302.8 yards, 15th best defense at 347.4 yards. Uh, they had a really good game, honestly. They had better than what they did. They were facing Northwestern next week. Well, I'm facing Maryland next week. Before I forget them too much. Just got reminded because I went to Indiana. I think I skipped them. Sorry about that. But that's gonna be a really fun matchup. I'll talk about more of that tomorrow. But yeah, Northwestern played well. Jack Loush looks better, and I think he'll get better every week. Back to Indiana. Offense was fantastic. Defense, hopefully that gets better over the bye week. They've got Nebraska next week with Patrick, the guy that's trying to be Patrick Mahomes. If there's any guy you want to implement, try to recreate, Mahomes would probably be the best bet. But anyways, yeah, Indiana right now is outside that playoff contending spot. This is where going to have them for a while if they keep winning until they get past Michigan. If they can go 10-0 going into Ohio State, I could put them in bowl contending, well, playoff contenders. But right now, not yet. Going to playoff contenders, it's the same three: Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. Oregon is 5-0, 2-0 conference play. Fifth best offense at 458.6 yards, and the sixth best defense at 263.4 yards. They beat Michigan State 31-10, and this week they're facing Ohio State. It's the 3 versus 2 matchup, and this is possibly a Big Ten championship preview, and could potentially be the best game of the year. And they have them at home, so This could very easily decide who can go to the Big Ten championship game, and this could easily decide who could be number one next week. This will decide who's number one next week, honestly. And number two is Penn State, who's fourth in the country right now. 5-0, 2-0 conference play. Fourth best offense at 461.8 yards and 233.2 yards. They beat UCLA 27-11 at home. And this week they're at USC. Uh, just keep it up for them. If they can pick up the pieces of like, because Oregon, Ohio State, one of them is going to be knocked out and possibly out of the championship game. If Penn State could take advantage of the situation, they could easily make it. And Ohio State, same old, same old. 5-0, 2-0 conference play. Second best offense at 510.2 yards and the best defense at 202.4 yards. They beat Iowa 35-7. This week they're at Oregon. Still the best team until they lose, or if they lose. But that's a Big Ten championship game preview against Oregon. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, share on all platforms, and ask yourself, are there any things you guys disagree with here?